So yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining to our investment conference. I guess this is the 7th conference we had this year. We welcomed around 30 companies and hundreds of investors, gave companies stage to present their businesses and to meet the investors. And about fun, by the way, I'm being the host today. And as a startup club, this is what we do. We organize pitch nights that are industry specifics, like health tech pitch night, ad tech, prop tech, fashion tech, B2 tech, and investment conferences like this one with a broader focus. And as well as, in addition to other services we provide, like fundraising, business valuation, social media plan, pitch deck design, and so on. So if any of you would be interested in any of the services, you can check our website and contact us. And today we have 5 innovative companies lined up. I would love to briefly introduce them to all of you. So the first page is Definix. They have smart IoT solutions. And the second company is Easy Order. They support food and beverage businesses to build D2C direct digital experience. And the next company is Dealmill. Actually, Lauren, CEO and co-founder of Easy Order, came up with an idea solution and established Meal Deal. Meal Deal is they offer fastest and cheapest selection of the restaurants. And the fourth company is MyShifts. They're from the HR business industry. They aim to revolutionize the job market through their smart software. And the final page, 5th company is Nocto. Then Nocto is connector platform for hospitality and event industry. And the concept today is we have 5 companies. Each company will have 7 minutes to pitch. That will be followed by 30 minutes discussion and feedback from the advisory panel. And of course, for all the audience, we encourage you to be part of discussion by using chat or opening your microphone and ask question, make a comment if you're interested in investing companies. And also going to the panelist. Today we have 4 investors from top VCs. First, I would like to thank all of you for accepting our invitation and being with us today. I will ask them to introduce yourself, but to quickly go through, we have investors from Plug and Play Tech Center, Borsky Fund, Octopus Ventures, and Rockstars. Constanza, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Berhan, and thank you for having me here. So I'm Constanza, I'm part of Octopus Ventures, a VC fund based in London. We invest all the way from pre-seed to Series B+, and I personally focus on Series A and B for B2B SaaS companies across Europe.
Great, thanks so much, Constanza. Matteo, are you there now? If you're here, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So great to meet all of you. Here's Matteo from Plug and Play. I've been working at Plug and Play since 2019, so now it's more or less 3.5 years. What I do at Plug and Play is I manage one of our offices in the south of Italy, and before I used to be investment manager, so managing all the investment on insurance on the EMEA side. But as you know, like insurance bridges a lot of industries, so mobility, health, and so on. As Plug and Play, we invest in early stage startups. We invest around about 250 startups a year across, I would say, all the verticals that you can think about. So yeah, great to be here.
Thanks so much, Matteo. Thanks so much for being with us. And Erica, could you please introduce yourself as well?
Yes, my name is Erica van Eegen. I work for the Borsky Fund, which is based in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. And we are investing in female entrepreneurs, companies that are in seed and Series A mostly, sector agnostic. So we can invest in quite a range of type of companies. Looking forward to the pitches.
I think our host froze, but maybe I can follow up after my Dutch colleague. My name is Susanne Kroese and I'm the investment manager for Rockstart Emerging Tech. And as you may know, Rockstart is an accelerator VC. And I work specifically for the youngest fund within Rockstart, which is Emerging Technologies. And we invest in the verticals Industry 4.0 and analytics, smart cities and societies, digital health, and data privacy and security. We do so across Europe and very early. So I think we have that in common with many of the other VCs present in this call here.
Great, thanks so much, Susan, and apologies for my silence. Like earlier, I
no worries.
Some connection issues, but you figured and continue. Thanks so much. So thank you all. Shall we start with our first page? Then our first page will be done by Ingo from Definix. Ingo is the CEO and founder of Definix. Ingo, please feel free to share your screen and start your presentation.
You need to allow me to share that.
Absolutely.
So I'd be more than happy to do so.
Okay, now you should be able to do that.
Yes, I am. So, can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then let me start. First of all, hello everybody and thanks for attending. Also thanks to the team from the Startup Club for organizing the event. My name is Ingo Kraus and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Definix, and I will tell you our story. At the end, it's up to you to decide if you want to be part of the continuation. The subtitle of the story is Connect, Monitor, and Control Any Device via the Internet. What's our value proposition? All manufacturers of electronic equipment constantly strive to add value to their products. Some of them do consider IoT as an option. However, most small and medium-sized manufacturers do not really have the capabilities or the resources to do so. So Definix helps its clients to co-develop a tailor-made IoT solution and provides the platform and the mobile applications. The customer thereby adds value to its products without delay or huge investments. That's Definix in a nutshell. Now let's start from the beginning. Definix was set up in July 2021 in Barcelona, and in the weeks following, we secured the IP rights to an IoT platform, signed the contracts with the initial development team, and obtained funding from 3 business angels. At the end of 2021, we started developing solutions for 2 manufacturers, for air fresheners and for emergency lights. At the beginning of this year, 2021, we could send the first units for testing, and in the second part of the year, we obtained the first commercial-sized orders. The value proposition for the air sanitizer is rather straightforward. The end customer can reduce maintenance costs and control their products either individually or in groups. And most importantly, the provider of the chemical products can control the use of the consumables, like in the ink cartridge of an HP toner. The business model is also simple. We provide the platform, the firmware, and the Wi-Fi module, and we charge between 5 and 6 euros with a margin of around 75%. Our customer already ordered 10,000 units in 2021 and forecasts approximately 50,000 in 2023. The value proposition for the emergency lights is slightly different. Yes, the customer can also reduce the maintenance cost, but additionally, we increase the life cycle of the batteries by draining them on a schedule and thereby increase the life cycle of the product. And as a side effect, we also increase the security because we can always make sure remotely that the lights and everything works properly. The business model is very similar. We provide the platform, the firmware, the Wi-Fi module, and in this case, also the PCBA. The prices are therefore higher, but the gross margins are lower. This year, the customer ordered 1,000 units, and the forecast for 2023 are 20,000 units. We have a rather clear focus. We only work B2B. We are looking only for applications and products where there's no current IoT solution. And our customers are medium-sized manufacturers willing to help in the development. Now, it may seem that we are reducing ourselves a lot and that we are basically kept without a market in the end. So just to give you an idea, the global IoT market in 2021 is already huge and assumed that everybody expected it to grow dramatically in the next 5 years. But I'd rather look into our market niches. So when I look into emergency lights, we are talking approximately $8 billion worldwide, and air disinfectants around 12 billion. Just to give you an idea of what other potentials are there, I'll give you 2 examples for products. You have a smoke detector, where there are currently no IoT solutions, or even a non-electrical product, which are fire extinguishers, which reduce maintenance dramatically for the people that are actually providing them. At the core of dphenix is an IoT platform. Now, what is special about it? First, unlike many of the building management systems, the platform works 100% wireless. And unlike IoT platforms, most IoT platforms, there is no limit to the number of devices you can connect. Just to give an example, if you have devices at your home, which usually uses Tuya as a backend, then you're basically limited to 30, 40 devices maximum. You will never notice because at home you never connect more. But if you go to a hotel with 1,000 rooms, those systems would not work. And finally, the system is designed to connect any type of devices, even the non-electrical ones. Now, clearly we have competition from IoT platforms that are aimed to the B2C market, and from platforms aimed to the B2B market, usually non-IoT, the so-called building management systems. But given the type of products and clients that we focus on, the most important competition are the internal IT departments of our potential clients in collaboration with software development companies. How do we want to grow in this environment? Initially, we help our current clients to increase their sales. We will improve the solution and facilitate the installations. But then we want to sell the same solution to other manufacturers. Just to give you an idea, there are approximately 260 manufacturers of emergency lights in the world. None of them currently has an IoT solution. And finally, we want to add new solutions in cooperation with customers and then repeat the process. Our team, Jordi Salicru, we are a Spain-based company, is our main shareholder, and thanks to him, the project has been launched. And we have a team of exceptional professionals with a lot of experience, on average more than 15 years. We are rather balanced in age, and we are strategically located. We are spread around the Philippines, Spain, China, and Canada. And almost all of us have been with dphenix from the very beginning. In financial terms, this is what the team has achieved so far. From the start in 2021 to 110,000 euros in sales and revenues in 2022. And the projections, being very, very conservative, are the ones that you see here on the screen. The initial conservative approach is also reflected in other key numbers. We do not see dphenix in 3 years with millions of customers and thousands of employees. But if you could only add 2 customers more in the first year and increase sales slightly per customer, the figures would be quite different. Now, to close this slide, I did not add a separate cash flow statement because it's rather similar to the P&L, because there are no investments in fixed assets, and AR and AP conditions are rather similar. What do we need to make this happen? As you can imagine, money. We are looking for 500,000 euros in seed financing, with a ticket size preferably between 50 and 250,000 euros. And if possible, the investor brings additional value to the table: a manufacturer, an IT developer, or a business angel with good connections. And where we will spend the money, approximately 60% on R&D, improving the current solutions and developing new ones, less than 20% on marketing, around 10% on customer support, and less than 10% in administration. Now, I've come to the end of the dphenix story so far. If you can imagine being part of its future and the next chapters, please contact us, and we will be happy to share additional information, hopefully convincing you to join dphenix. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Ingo. That was a great presentation. Constanze, would you like to start by your comments? Do you have any questions and feedback on the presentation?
Yes, I would like to start as a question to you. To what extent is your product replicable on a one-on-one basis? So I mean, meaning that how fast can you scale? Because do you need for each user case and each client that you work, how much is needed in order to get your product working?
Whenever we develop a new solution, you will have approximately 3 to 4 months of development, which is basically communication between our software and hardware teams with the firmware and hardware teams of the client. Once this is done, so for example, the emergency lights, it's most really replicable within 2 weeks, adopting the platform, adopting the applications to a new customer, and scalable, basically without any problem. We are manufacturing, or we are buying the chips, the Wi-Fi chips in China. We have a person in China, in Shenzhen. We flash the firmware directly to the chips there and distribute them to the manufacturer of the devices. So once the first solution is developed, then it's rather easy to scale.
All right, thank you. Maybe one other question, and thank you for the presentation, by the way. Very interesting. Another question I had on your slides, on your financials, you show that in 2022, your customer value is around 55 per client. And I think it increases in 2025 to 500K. Can you explain the increase?
Let me go back to the slide that you're referring to, if I may. Let's see if I can get there. So this was the slide that you were looking at. The reason is very simple. We started this year, for example, we started with the manufacturer of the emergency lights, and what he wants to do is he's going to start in trials. So he ordered 1,000 units, applied them in a residential area, and in 2023 he's going to apply them to general construction. So it will increase from 1,000 units to 20,000 units within a year, approximately. The same is true for the manufacturer of the air fresheners. We started in 2021 with 1,000 units. 2022 was 10,000, and we expect the next order in February, and the customer is expecting 50,000. So once the customer has proven the concept also within his clients, we expect a rather fast increase. It's actually not that many when you think of it. We are expecting approximately a sales of an average of 300,000 to 350,000 euros per customer, which is not much. There are far bigger customers that are still small and medium sized that could reach far higher numbers.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I think I finally was able to unmute. Thank you, Ingo, for the presentation. Very interesting. And my question is around pricing. So can you explain a little bit more why you guys decided to go with that pricing? Did you consider some sort of like recurrent pricing? Because I understand this is fixed by unit. But then you are providing the software for the long term for the customers to use, if I understood correctly. So could you please shed some light on that rationale?
Yeah, sure. That's let's say the current rationale, because how is the pricing and the cost of goods constructed? The cost of goods are basically the chips itself. So, and the chip itself is somewhere between €10 and €50, depending on the volumes that you order. And the rest is kind of a contribution margin. The information that you share between the devices and the IoT platform in the examples that you've seen is very limited. So you're not sharing a lot of information. There are not a lot of bytes and megabytes to be transferred. So the estimation here is that the price for a lifetime maintenance of one device on the servers that we are currently running on Amazon is going to be less than $1. So this is priced into the product. Now we have been looking into, or we were asked to look into other kind of solutions that are a bit more complex and that require a different, a different approach. I'll give you an example. There are special requirements for special industries. The example is livestock, an animal farm. You have all the devices that you want to measure temperature, humidity, air humidity, whatever you want. They are available, but they are not integrated or integratable into one specific platform, especially then not triggering something. So I measure the temperature, but there is no trigger then behind it. So we were asked to come up with a proposal for those farms. Now here the issue is different, because here I will have to transmit data constantly, and I will have a large volume of data that I will transmit. So the pricing for this client would be different. It would be really a subscription based on the amount of devices and also based on the data transfer that is behind it.
Thank you. That's clear. And in terms of, because it sounds that you consider sort of like the cost of the solution to arrive at a pricing at a price per unit. But this, for instance, in the first case you mentioned, so a price of 5 to 6 euros, would that represent how much of the overall product? And is that sort of like aligned with the extra demand that the manufacturers will get because they are able to provide at the end a product that is more efficient, because the end user at the end, has lower maintenance costs and more control on the consumables?
That is obviously what our clients believe that they can do. I give you the example with the air fresheners. The manufacturing cost of the whole product, with the fan, with the pumps, with the plastics, with the PCBA and everything, is around 60 to 65 euros. So we are adding approximately 8% to the manufacturing cost. In this case, we have already clear feedback, because I told you that 10,000 units that we delivered. There are more than 400 already in the market in Denmark, in Germany, and in Portugal, Spain, Morocco, Egypt. And actually the client that is interested in this solution is not really our client. It's not the manufacturer, but it's the provider of the chemical products. I'm not sure how to explain it best. The provider of the chemical products is actually the one who provides usually those kind of machines on a larger scale. Yeah. Usually he provides for free or for a very, very minimal amount. In exchange, that the end customer is his end customer buys his liquids or his consumables, where there's a huge margin. The margin on liquids there is around 90–95%. The problem that he faces is that he has no way to control that his end customer doesn't go to Alibaba and purchases a similar product and puts it in the machine and uses it. So he takes the machine of our client and then puts another liquid. So what we did for him, he actually is now not selling a canister of 10 liters of chemicals. He's selling the canister with a barcode that actually then measures the consumption and can tell our client, your end customer comes to 5% of his supply. Contact him, approach him, send your sales rep, and if he keeps using it, then he's either there's either some wrong information, he put a solution in there, or he bought another product. So it gives him an indication that he's not using his product. So that's why actually he is the manufacturer of the consumables that is interested in that solution.
Thank you, Ingo. Interesting use case.
Yeah, thanks so much for the questions, Constanze and Erika. Actually, we have 2 minutes left. I don't know if Matteo and Susanna would both of them would be able to ask over questions, but please go, one of you can go ahead, Susan or Matteo.
Yeah, sure. Susan, you unmute yourself.
Yeah, but you were already talking, so go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I just have let's say 1.5 question. So the first one would be, I'm not too familiar with the space, but I've heard and listened to several startups in the IT space, and also I do believe there are several incumbents in the market. I'd like to understand the difference in between what you do and what other players are doing. You sum it up before saying that actually you have a, let's say, a one-stop shop in the sense that a platform that is actually valid for several devices, but I'd love to understand a bit more there. And then the machine-to-machine communication also actually poses a threat in terms of security. Any time that you transfer data, there is a problem with security. So I'd like to understand also how you address that problem.
There obviously we use the normal security protocols, but there's actually we have potential customers both in Spain and in the Philippines that are very sensitive. That are banks that say we are not going to connect any of your devices to the internet. For sure not. So the other solution is that we basically provide standalone solutions. So they are not really connected to the internet. They the whole platform and the database in-house on a server, and it connects via wireless, but it doesn't connect to the internet. So if you really want to have full control and not have any internet connection, that's feasible via standalone solutions.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ingo. Actually, now we are out of time, so maybe any final comment from Ingo, maybe final words from you, and we can move to the next picture.
No, just if you want any more information, I'm happy to share and provide you with more details on all the things that you've seen and some more.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Ingo. And Susan, sorry about actually not giving you the word for this one, but we can start comments with you for the next time. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, the next page is easy order. Laurent, CEO of the company, will present the business. Laurent, feel free to share your screen and start your presentation.
Yes.
Oops. We can't hear now.
Hello?
Yes, no, yes.
I'm sorry for this. As you can see, I'm connected with 2 devices because my computer's camera is not working. So this is me, but the presentation will be done through the computer, obviously. So bear with me for a second as I share my screen.
Okay.
As you mentioned, I'm the CEO and founder of Easy Order, as well as for the next company, which is Meal Dealer. So they're both separate companies, but within the same space, which is food and beverage, like food tech. And obviously, there is a very clear connection with both companies. They are both very complementary to each other, but they are separate investment cases. And I will start with Easy Order, which is a more mature one. We're looking for a Series A capital raise early next year or throughout next year in order to scale. So first of all, I can share with you some of the metrics. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we are around the 1 million in yearly recurring revenue mark right now. And we serve around 500 customers, mainly focused on the Belgian market. We are a Belgian startup based out of Brussels. However, the reason why we're in this call today is because we want to scale the company on European level as well as in the UK, because we feel like we had good traction in Belgium. We have become the market leader in our space, and we see a lot of potential in specific markets like the UK, France, and the Netherlands. Now, what is it that we do? We solve a couple of interesting problems that food and beverage merchants have to deal with. First of all, it's the HR problem. nothing new. We always hear them complain about it, and it's not getting better. There's a real shortage in skilled staff in the food and beverage industry. Next is the fact that the food and beverage industry is an industry that has not been digitalized by any means. The only digital evolution that they have gone through is actually harming them, because it's the delivery platforms like Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and Takeaway that have digitalized the merchants, but they walk away with a high commission fee going up to 30% in sales. And that is actually the third pain that we solve, because we help customers to regain control over their online sales, avoiding to pay 30% commission fees and up for repeat customers. With that, we give them access to customer data that basically they have been robbed from through the platforms. So they have no data at all. They have no insights in who their customers are, what customer is a recurring customer or not, because that's all been hidden by the platforms, delivery platforms they work with. And then, of course, there are obvious solutions for that, but up until now, it has been very difficult for merchants in the food and beverage industry to build their own solution. So basically what McDonald's and Burger King and the like are doing is a solution to all these problems I mentioned before. However, they have development teams and marketing teams that can work on a project and develop their own order intake software as they wish. But for the smaller merchants, even means mid-market customers, it's very difficult to really start building your own interfaces, and that is exactly what Easy Order solves. This one we can quickly go over because it's a simple calculation of what exactly it costs to be on a merchant to be on a platform as a merchant in the food and beverage industry. You sell for 16 euros worth of food. Your customer ends up paying a little bit more because he needs to pay for the delivery fee as well. So it ends up being a 22 euro transaction. What you get as a merchant in this specific example, which is an extreme one, you only get 11 euros on your bank account because you have to deduct the platform fee, which is 30% of your of the goods you have sold. So subtract that from the 16 euros you have sold, and you only end up getting 11 euros on a 22 euro transaction. Perfectly fine if it's for a new incoming customer that was exploring the market on the platform, on Deliveroo basically, and chose your restaurant, and then you get that customer as a newly acquired customer. It's okay to pay a commission fee for that. But what happens in reality is that at least 70 to 80% of the orders that are being generated through Deliveroo are repeat orders coming from the same customers that actually already know where they're going to order. So that's a problem. Well, not Deliveroo's problem, but it's the merchant's problem in the end. So what do? We came up with an omni-channel order intake solution, of which our USP is highlighted in the middle. So we started with the simplest form of online ordering, which is a website, like an ordering webpage that we can integrate to the existing website of the merchant. It allows people to just go to their website, click on the Order Now button, and then Easy Order would take care of the whole online ordering and payment process. We also do tableside QR code ordering, which is basically just a variant of the mobile version of our webpage. And we also do the in-store ordering kiosks. So the screens that you see in McDonald's, we are a software provider for those solutions. And then we come to the branded app that we really focus on, being Easy Order, because it's not just an online ordering solution that we do. It's really an online ordering solution with a marketing side to it, which the app is a very valuable tool for, because we build a branded app for every merchant that works with us, meaning that they get an iOS and Android app for their brand. And that app includes a digital loyalty card. And of course, it also offers the merchants the possibility to send push notifications with promotions. It helps to connect with their customer base. And not just any customer base, but really the fan base, the repeat customers that wanted to download the merchant's app are exactly the ones you want to target with your promotions and your benefits, so that you can extract more from your repeat customer base. And that's what the app is doing.
By the way, just to let you know, actually we are almost out of time, so maybe just a final word. I know we have a couple of page but maybe we can just go through once while we're answering the questions coming from the judge. Maybe, what do you think?
Sure. I can just go to the financials right away. We are at about €1 million in recurring revenue, and the reason why we look for a Series A right now, we look for about €6 million to scale, is that's because we need to hire to build our sales structure. Right now, we've worked with a couple of salespeople that I managed myself, but I didn't really manage them. I don't have the time to manage them enough and to scale that team. So we want to hire an actual complete full-on sales team, as well as further invest in our development team, so that we can start catering to bigger corporate customers with more than 100 outlets. I don't know. I think if you want to have more insights on what exactly Easy Order is able to do and not do, we can obviously reconnect, and I can tell you all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Laurent. And I'm going to the Susan this time first. Susan, do you have any comment, question?
Yeah. Thanks, Laurent, for the presentation and being present twice in the call. At least it works. That's great. And it's impressive where you stand, coming from a pre-seed stage investor. I think I'm already humbled with what you are able to show. A question maybe a bit out of the box here, but I was looking at your team and I was wondering if you could give me some context on, who are your key people next to yourself, who is sitting comfortably at the top of the pyramid in this sheet.
Yes. So my key people is my COO, Michael, who I work with in other projects as well, who has a lot of experience in operations and who has really proven himself to be the right guy for this job, because we invest a lot of money in setting up our after sales team. So we wanted to prepare the company to scale, and that's exactly what we have done. We have hired people in success management. We have hired a head of customer success, and Michael is our operations officer who is leading that team. Next to Michael, we have our CTO, who is somebody that has a lot of experience in software industries, throughout software industries, and has actually built a marketing automation tool where we could really benefit from as well, because we already had, before hiring the CTO, we actually I just put together a couple of developers and we built a working solution,
an MVP
easy way
you hack together. Yeah,
exactly. And then we were able to serve a lot of customers. We processed a couple thousand orders, so it was a working solution. But then we decided to really hire and restructure the whole tool, which is what Mathieu has done as a COO. He has put together a team. He has built a team along with a product owner and a UX UI designer to finally come up with this latest version that we just rolled out here in Q4. And as of today, so today we process more than 200,000 orders on a monthly basis for our customers, equaling €4 million in platform revenue. So like revenue we generate for our customers over the platform is about €4 million a month. So we've been able to come up with a scalable solution, and that's really what I wanted. So a scalable solution that is able to accept many more merchants without breaking. Because in all honesty, that's the problem we had before. Of course, we were struggling with the outages, and Mathieu has, with the restructuring, actually we rebuilt it from scratch, and with that we took into account the lessons we learned from the past. And the initial developers I started with are still on board, so we use them as our source of information in order to avoid any issues.
Yeah, makes sense. And sounds like you're ready to scale, at least from this brief pitch. Just a question, maybe a final question from my side, because I'm also asking because of the connection, of course, that you made very clear to Meal Dealer. Mm-hmm. Maybe I didn't pay sufficient attention, but I was wondering, how will you combine the two activities there? How do you see that? Yeah.
So the thing is, both companies will help each other out, will help each other scale and generate revenue for each other. That's A. And B, Meal Dealer, as you will see, is something I plan on. I mean, my added value there is the people I know in the industry, the connections I have made, but it's my attention span will most definitely be focused on Easy Order, because that's a company that is much more complex to run. We need much more different teams, with a sales team handing the file over to a success management team with an onboarding flow and automations. We have to onboard customers by the hundreds, whereas Meal Dealer is really a platform, and it's really a marketing challenge. Yeah. So the platform is something we can build. We have built Easy Order without me being a developer or having any knowledge basically in development. We could do the same with Easy Order, with Meal Dealer, sorry. I think Deliveroo and Uber Eats, they're not technical solutions. They just need money to build a working platform. So that is exactly what we want to do with Meal Dealer. And once Meal Dealer is a working platform, it's really just it's not just, but it's going to focus on marketing a platform and acquiring users that will then generate orders for Easy Order customers as well. Yeah,
you're building an empire, I think, but we'll hear more about Meal Dealer later, I suppose.
Yes, exactly. Maybe we will connect the dots.
Yeah, thanks for answering my questions.
Yeah, I also do have a question here. So from my understanding, you have kind of different models in the sense that you offer different products. I'd like to understand within the 1 million ARR as of today, what's the core revenue stream? And also, what do you see as core revenue stream in the future, like in the next 2-3 years? And then another comment in general, I think, when you build a white label app for franchising, I understand McDonald's because they have, several or many stores in each country. But when you have 3-4 stores in each city, for instance, could be Rome or Brussels, my concern is that usually you use an app such as Glovo or Deliveroo also to get visibility. Because if you need to think about where to go and buy some food, you go to do only one store, one shop app. And that's why you also pay more in terms of commission, because you get visibility to the platform. So that would be also my concern in terms of scalability.
Yes. So I will first answer your last question by the help of this slide. We're not a competitor of Takeaway, Deliveroo, and Uber Eats. Just like McDonald's and all the bigger players, we just offer a direct-to-consumer alternative to serve your repeat customers. And McDonald's has developed their own solution. They have their own in-house development team, which costs a lot of money and for which they need a lot of app downloads in return. However, our solution comes at a fixed monthly fee of 150 euros. And even single outlet mom and pop stores that have like every store, every good restaurant basically has a fan base of maybe 50, 100, 150 repeat customers only. But if those 150 customers that usually spend anywhere from 300 to 500 euros on a monthly basis in your restaurant, and you can increase that revenue with a percentage of 20 to 30%, you're already in the money. As well as the fact that you have a direct ordering webpage for all the customers that go on Google and look up your restaurant because they know they want to order from your place. Easy Order offers a solution for that as well. They just make sure that the direct users, like the customers that already had in mind to order online at a specific place, they don't go through a marketplace because they get a certain benefit, which is offered by the restaurant. And so the idea is not to have 150 apps on your phone for each and every possible restaurant. The idea is that you use Uber Eats, Deliveroo, and Takeaway. But in addition to that, you have your 2 or 3 places that you go to a couple of times a month and that you would like to download the app from because you get a benefit by collecting points on your loyalty card or stuff like that. And it's actually the same marketing plan that McDonald's is doing, that we offer as a plug and play solution on a much lower scale, but it also comes at a much lower cost. And so that brings us to your first initial question. Let me check the slide. What the revenue streams are. First, we started with the subscription fees for the app and web solution. Then we started adding the kiosk interfaces, which is a fixed monthly fee per kiosk to that. So we were able to upsell some of the existing customers with an in-store ordering kiosk, which also serves a different purpose, which is really for walk-in customers instead of people that order for click and collect, and which would hesitate between ordering through a platform like Uber Eats or the direct way. The ordering kiosk is a completely different approach. But that's another revenue stream. So we can target customers via different angles. And once we get our foot in the door, the idea is always to upsell one way or the other to a complete, fully direct to consumer solution. And those are the revenue streams we tapped into this far. For now, I think about 75% of the revenues come from the app and web solution. Around 20 to 30% come from kiosks interfaces, which we just launched early 2022. And then in the future, we're gonna generate more revenue through payment kickbacks that we get from a deal with Adyen that I am ready to sign right now. So on every transaction, whether it be online or through a payment terminal on the kiosks, we can get a kickback on that. With Adyen, we were also able to seal a deal for having our white label payment solutions. So it would actually be Easy Order Pay, but processed by Adyen. So that means that that means we have a much easier onboarding and that we can offer a one-stop shop basically for anything direct ordering solution. Anything that has to do with your direct ordering solution. And then on top of that, we are able to get a kickback fee on SMSs that we send out. So if a customer orders through the app, they get SMS confirmation, we can get a kickback on it. If we prepare a marketing campaign through SMS, because of the customer data that you acquired, we can get a commission fee on those SMSs that you send out. Same for the automated marketing services that we still need to build, but we will offer to our customer base. The idea is that we generate all the customer data, right? So we know who's ordering, when they're ordering, what they order usually, what their preferences are. So we are able, with the logo that we have and the colors that we have and the products and prices that we have in our system for every merchant, we're able to just generate a campaign and let the merchant just decide to launch it in a fully automated way, because we could send out or we could prepare an automated campaign over different channels. We can prepare an email that is going to be sent out along with an SMS campaign, along with push notifications that all talk about the same promotion that we suggest the merchant is going to do, and that is also tailored to the end user's preferences. So in other words, if you're a Pokeball place and you know you have vegan users, you're not going to offer them a free meat Pokeball, you're going to offer them a vegan option. Whereas the meat lovers, you're going to offer them a free upgrade with extra meat, you know, stuff like that. We can all automate and offer as a service, knowing that we know what their current turnover is. In general, they do, let's say, 20,000 euros a month in turnover over our platform. Using the automated marketing services and just subscribing to that would increase that number from 20 to 22,000. Well, we would get a commission fee of the extra 2,000 euro in revenue generated by our marketing, our suggested marketing campaigns. So that would bring up the monthly revenue for a customer from 150, which is the base price for the web.
But by the way, sorry to interrupt, Laurent. I just wanted to let you know that you actually exceeded about 3-4 minutes of your time. I will have to deduct this time from your next slot. So if you want to kind of speed up and finalize your words and go for the next slot, it's up to you. So it will be deducted in your next slot. That's
fine. I think I answered the question more or less.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I am sure Matteo is satisfied. So how would you like to proceed? Would you like to go to the next slot, or if you want to maybe take a couple of questions from the other panelists for this company and use less time for the next slot? What do you think?
Let's just go ahead with the other candidates and just listen to their questions, and then we can quickly move on to the meal dealer part.
Oh, okay, all right. So cool.
Yeah, well, my question. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, you can go for it if you prefer. I'll go for it then. So Lauren, thank you for the presentation. What's sort of like the key differentiation that you have versus Flipdish? Because obviously they've been around for a while, and I think on your competition map, you have them as that they're offering fewer channels, if I understand correctly. But as far as I know, they probably, I understand that they also offer kiosks, mobile apps, web apps, aggregators from the different delivery platforms, and so on and so forth. So if it's only price, the differentiation, well, that's not very sustainable.
Mm-hmm. So if you look at it from a distance, it would be only price, but not only price, but really the price model. Flipdish charges 7% in commission fees, which means if you're successful, it's beginning very expensive. That's A. And B, they raised 100 million, and I don't know I think they have been spending a lot of money on sales and marketing and acquiring a lot of customers. But to me, that's really the opportunity for Easy Order, because their technical solution is just not what it should be. We talked to a lot of prospects who use Flipdish, and they just have a very simple template that is not very customizable. And I don't want to bash on the quality of their product, but we just know we are offering a much higher quality in terms of configuration, in terms of customizability, and we are able to do that at a lower price. So our growth plan actually is focused on targeting Flipdish customers with the sales team that we're gonna hire. Because what happened during COVID is people didn't have a solution, and they quickly decided to go with one or the other provider that was offering a solution. But now we see a replacement market coming up really quickly, especially in the UK and the markets that really are ahead of the market in Belgium. And we see that people reconsider their choices they made during COVID. So it's part of the...
Thank you. Very clear.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Actually, my questions are more related to well, also the kind of complementary to your the meal deal that you're going to discuss. So we can also go ahead with the next presentation, and then I'll ask my questions.
Okay, awesome.
That's great.
Slide right here. I will just cut corners. What is Meal Dealer offering? It's very simple. The problem is with Uber Eats, Takeaway, and Deliveroo, people need to sometimes switch from one app to the other in order to find their restaurant. Because not all restaurants are on all three of the platforms. Some of them only use one or two. So you want to order somewhere and you were thinking of ordering through Uber Eats. They're not there. You need to go to Deliveroo. And then the second problem arises. Sometimes on Deliveroo, the waiting time is 1.5 hours. Whereas on Just Eat, for some reason...
sorry, I'm not able to see the screen actually. Is it me or do you guys see this presentation right now?
No.
Okay. No, okay, we don't see it. All right.
This is it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So app hopping to find the right restaurant is one. The problem is with delivery times, sometimes it gets very busy and all riders from Deliveroo are allocated in a certain area. And so if you want to order in London and you're in Marylebone, on Deliveroo, you need to wait for 90 minutes. Whereas in another part of London, the fulfillment would be much quicker. But you need to hop through the apps in order to find the restaurant and look for the fulfillment times. And then last but not least, it's a platform that would compare the delivery prices to offer the cheapest solution for the merchant. And what it comes down to is just something like Trivago or Kayak, but for restaurants. You would have one platform that is allowing you to have a full overview of all restaurants combined. It's actually, the proof of concept is live, so you can fill in an address in London, Brussels, Paris, or whatever, and it would show you all results that are on Uber Eats, Takeaway.com, Just Eat, and Deliveroo. And it would show you what the quickest fulfillment, where the quickest fulfillment time is, and what the cheapest delivery rate is. Obviously, where that comes together with what Easy Order is offering, it's because we could also show the direct ordering webpage of the merchant as a result, guiding people that use Meal Dealer towards the direct ordering webpage of Easy Order, or of the merchant actually. So what that means is that we could generate through Meal Dealer, we could generate a lot of traffic for Easy Order customers, A, and B, we could tap into the user base or the customer base of Easy Order with Meal Dealer in order to make deals with those restaurants, because the revenue model for Meal Dealer is the fact that we would make deals with the platforms, Uber Eats, Takeaway, Deliveroo, and we would get a commission for every referred user that we get or that we send them. And on the other hand, we would also make an agreement with individual restaurant owners that want to list their direct ordering page, and they would also just pay a percentage fee for a referred customer that they can then, in the end, convert into a repeat customer if they want to. But that's what Meal Dealer does. It sticks with the plan or with the market that is continuously growing throughout the years. And I don't know about the time, but the problem we have with Meal Dealer is that we want to launch in London because we heard that, or we read that more than 70% of Londoners order at least 4 times a week on platforms. So there is a huge market there, and it's a great opportunity, but we need about €1 million to build a working solution. And after that, we need a marketing budget to market it. So we are looking for an investor that would be committed to the first part, which means developing a working platform. And after that, somebody who would follow us and introduce us to other investors potentially to bring in 24 million in marketing budget. So that is just for launching Meal Dealer in the UK, where London would be our focus. I think the best thing I can do now is just respond to some people's questions, because I feel like that might be more helpful than just to go through the slide and repeat myself with what I said with Easy Order.
Okay, yeah, thanks so much, Laurent. It was a great presentation. Erika, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Laurent. I had one question, which is actually, I think, maybe also more related to Easy Order then. I was just wondering, for Easy Order, how is your, maybe I didn't understand it well, but how is the delivery itself being organized?
So with Easy Order, we don't offer a delivery solution. Our software is able to take in a delivery order, and the restaurant would have their own riders to do it. Or they use a third party like Steward or some of the competitors to go and fulfill the order for them. But that's not what Easy Order offers as a service.
Does, okay. All right. So that would mean that actually is also biting in their in these margins that they would otherwise gain from you doing it by themselves.
It comes at a cost, yes, but the idea is also to make customers come back to your store. So we know, for example, that a lot of the platforms orders are just being fulfilled within a very short distance. So people who are sitting in an office right across the restaurant and just wanted to order and pay online because they didn't want to wait in line. And then they still have to come down to the base floor, and the rider would hand over the order right there, but it's actually only 50 or 100 meters away from the restaurant. So again, we're not there to fully replace the platforms. We just want to make sure that the restaurant gets the orders from their repeat customers who could have ordered directly through their direct channels.
Okay, clear. And then a question on Meal Deal. So why would platforms like Deliveroo just in the end accept to be integrated on Meal Deal's platform?
Because the only thing they are doing is competing with each other for traffic. So the only thing they want is just generate traffic. And I would even say that the capital raise we are asking for would be obviously subject to a deal, a commission deal that we seal with the platforms, or at least with one of them, because that's where the revenue would come from. And yes, we know they are interested. We know it has been done before. And there is actually an American company that has done this and is referring customers to American platforms, and they have a commission kickback on it. For every referred customer that orders through the platform, they get a percentage fee of the order value. So it's more of a concept. We just wanted to prove, first of all, that that we have a working solution, that we are able to make it work. Second stage would be me going to the platforms and making a deal in terms of commission fees. And subject to that deal, we would like to have an investor who follows along the way and enables us to actually build a scalable platform. Because again, the use of the proof of concept we have now is obviously not the one we're going to spend 24 million on and get thousands or millions of users to use it. It's not going to work. We need something that is at least as good as Uber Eats or even better. And unfortunately, that costs a lot of money. So it's a very difficult case because it requires a lot of money before you're going to get any revenue, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, clear. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Erika. Anyone else? Would you like to add something?
I have a question. I think it makes sense that the platforms will be interested in gaining more traffic to some extent, right? Because I think they losing the the long-term relationship with the customers is probably something that they won't be really happy to do. And then they need to make a trade-off between, more traffic now, but potentially lower traffic in the future. So I'm not so sure they would agree, but if you have one of them that agrees, then well, the other one is more incentivized to do it as well. So
exactly, yeah.
I think it is possible. However, when I think about the comparison that you used before, so for instance, I think you mentioned some trip comparison websites. I feel it's quite different because the cost of a holiday or a plane ticket is much more expensive than a delivery that you do on a Tuesday night, and therefore consumers are much more interested in actually spending time and getting the best deal possible.
Exactly.
I'm struggling to see why, if you have already an Uber Eats apps and a Deliveroo app, and those are the most reliable ones, and they have most of the restaurants that you like, why would you be so, I don't know, why would you really need this app to compare these three options, or how many options they are there, when probably you will gain, I don't know, one pound out of it. So that's just a challenge to see what you think about.
So I completely agree with you. If it would only be a price point, it would not be enough for customers to make the switch. But the pains, there are actually three pains. So it's more, the most important one, I think, is the app hopping that you need to do in order to find the quickest delivery times. I was recently in London again. We wanted to order something, and we actually did it. We just went to Uber Eats. It was more than an hour, and then we went to Deliveroo in the end, and it was about half an hour in waiting time. That's why we did it. And okay, it's not that much of a pain, but if you combine that with that's why we need to offer these three benefits: having the fastest delivery time for the cheapest rate, and the combined offering of those three platforms. But then it's really about communicating that to the users and offering benefits so being the meal dealer platform, which by the way is just a conceptual name. There needs to be a much more marketing minded name done by an agency, probably, whatever, but it needs to be communicated towards the end user. And we want to offer benefits. We want to include potential contests so that you could, if you use Meal Dealer as your go-to platform, you are eligible to win certain things. You get vouchers. It's part of the acquisition cost. So it's basically what they're all doing, and people are getting a little bit tired of Uber Eats, Just Eat, and Deliveroo. They know it all. They have seen it all, and I think it's the right time now to introduce a new player into the market with another angle and a little extra value for the end user. But again, it will never work if we don't come in with a big budget to advertise it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lauren. Actually, okay, now we kind of finalized our time. We should go to the next page. But thanks so much. Actually, I think everyone in the audience and the panelists have really clear understanding of what to do at Ace-Order and Meal Dealer. But yep, for the further discussion, obviously we encourage everyone to contact with Lauren. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
And the next page is My Shifts. Volker, CEO of the company, will be presenting the opportunity. Volker, please feel free to share your screen and start the presentation. Okay, now you can mute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, My Shifts. Welcome to the modern way of working. Basically, what we do at My Shifts, we have a team of people coming from the hospitality industry. Myself as CEO with more than 20 years experience in hospitality, everything from yeah, just working as a help chef up to being kitchen manager of big concerns like Van der Valk, Fletcher, Marriott also. So I have a lot of connections there. And what I basically wanted to do is build a team and try to make it easy for companies to find trained and motivated staff. So that was basically the idea. I started the company in 2020 in the middle of a lockdown. And yeah, we started out in the beginning, I had 3 shareholders who actually invested a little bit of money in the company because they believed in the idea of building a platform where it's very easy for people to find work, and on the other hand, very easy for the companies to hire staff. There are a lot of other platforms. Where's the big difference? Very simple answer: the quality. We don't accept people on our platform who don't have any skills. Except if they want to learn the skills, then we can teach them, because we build our own academy, so we can train people. We have an approved school, means we can train people up to the highest level as a chef, as a waiter, as a bartender. We have teachers for that, all automated and online, so people can just go to work, earn their money, and get trained along the way. So yeah, that's basically where we started with. Along the way, we went online in June last year, and right away went up to over 300 shifts a week. Means about 4,000 hours a week also. What is actually, for a starting company, a lot. Also within the first 5 months that we started, we had almost every big concern or client that you can have in the Netherlands as a client. Then there was a lockdown, so that meant we had to go into another sector. So I took all my people, we went into security, made our money, got through the lockdown, and we restarted actually from nothing in March again. And then, we went sky high within a few months. We did over 500 shifts a week. Got the rest of the big clients that we did not have yet. And just started to send good and trained staff around the country. We have many possibilities, like you also can see in the sheet. We can expand in different industries. We can expand to different countries. We have a lot of new options that we can provide, but I will come to that a little bit later. Let me first get to the most important thing. What is it what we want to do, and what will actually make us a lot of money? We combine everything that has to do with the global labor market. That means people who want to work, employers, and mediators. And we just checked what do they need and how can we help them to get what they need. For workers, it is they want freedom. We live in 2022. So that means people want freedom and a good salary. We can provide both, because our own margin doesn't have to be high, because we automated all the processes within the HR. For employers, it's very simple platform that we provide. They find motivated workers. Why they are motivated, I will come to that also in a bit. We have a trained workforce. And I think the best part, we don't have competitors, we have partners. That means we will open up our app, and every employment agency worldwide can scan in their people with QR. Within 2 minutes, they can start working. And it's very easy for big mediators like Randstad, Adecco, the big guys. It's for them pretty difficult to go digital, because they have a lot of offices and staff. But with our app, they can go digital and just get more hours. We just take a little cut of that. But I will explain that very soon a little bit more. Like I said, we already been trusted by a lot of people in our country. We already made us a name as the most professional platform in the Netherlands. At this point, they are working 2,000 freelancers on our platform and around 500 temporary employed people. We also government approved. We have an N certification and also a member of the ABU. It's for the Dutch employment agencies, actually. So that means working with us is always safe for companies. We pay our taxes on time, and yeah, well, companies are happy if we do so. Like I said, we build an academy. We're also in a SLIM project from the government. That means we can spend 25,000 euros next year to involve that academy, train more people in hospitality. That's actually one thing we love to do because we are hospitality people and we love our industry. And that's what we want to bring to the next generation. Then how are we going to motivate our people? We're going to do that with gamification and competition. Actually, working will be like a game. That means you can compete against others in your industry. You can build teams with your friends and compete with that. There will be individual competitions, recruiter competitions, sales agent competitions, and it will all build within a ranking system where you can score XP points. So working will just be fun because it's one big game. And while you're doing it, you can actually earn some very nice bonuses, extras, and stuff like that. Our solution is already used by many big companies, international concerns like Compass Group. Randstad also is already a client. They get the chefs from us. Like we do Fletcher hotels, all 130 hotels in this country. And also we have a lot of connections to international hotel groups like Marriott. So we can expand easily to other countries. Then actually, how are we going to make money in the future? We're going to sell licenses. So we're going to make a switch from being the platform that has the stuff itself and just open up, sell licenses to companies, to freelancers, and also to mediators. In this first example, it's for freelancers. But we actually do. It's also why we need investment. We want to do the factoring for the freelancers. Means if they take a license, then they will get paid faster. So they can actually choose when they get paid. And that's where the licenses are for. Then how do we help?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. We're almost out of time. Could you please speed up a bit?
Oh, yeah, then I skip to the most important, to the most interesting part, the money part. Well, we're looking for in total. We're gonna do a round. Means we're looking in a total for 20 million. So I set my share price to 80,000, or for 1% of the company for 1 million. I did my math. There is very low risk in investing in us because we have a teams ready. My shareholders already agreed to stop with their companies or put their companies under my roof if we're gonna rise. We survived a few lockdowns already. We work with a proven product already. Our revenue skyrocketed in the last quarter up to 1.3 million. But with all the new software we want to build, that can be finished within 1 year, because my downstairs neighbor is a software company. So we have access to a full software company with over 20 backend developers and everything. So I'm looking for 20 million so we can invest in our software, build a team, and most important of everything, we want to scale international, because in countries like Germany, also in the US, there are no platforms there's no platform that does what we do, and that can combine all the mediators under one roof. And especially the big concerns, for them, it's exactly what they want and what they need. I know that because I talked with them a lot, and they all say, if you are the one combining all those mediators under one roof, then we're definitely going to roll it out over all of our hotels. So yeah, they're just basically waiting to me to finish this and start working with it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Volker. I think we can move to the common Q&A part.
Sure.
So I'm turning to maybe Matteo. Do you have any question, comment? Okay, I will now allow you to unmute yourself. Just a second. Okay, now it should work.
Thanks. Yeah, no, my first question would be, what's the go-to-market model on both the sides of the marketplace, especially when it comes to freelancers? How are you getting freelancers and also temporary workers? And as well as the question before, on the long run, what would be the core revenue stream between the two of them that you have?
The core revenue stream, it's pretty simple. We're gonna, at this point, we are the ones who have the staff and also the freelancers, but we're gonna step down from that, and we're gonna build a software that can be used as a planning and schedule system for the company itself. And also they can combine all their mediators under one roof. Means if you have a big hotel concern, then most of the time they need around 30 to 40 different companies to get all their shifts filled. Because we combine all of it for them and just take a little bit from all the other agencies, that will be the part that makes us a lot of money. Because if other agencies use our platform, we are not the ones that have to pay taxes, and also we are not the ones that have to follow the rules. We built the platform open, so you can adjust to every country and every rule and regulation. You can upload your own contracts. And what's a very easy part of the whole thing, you can sign up with a QR and be active and working within 2 minutes with a government check. You can sign your contract on your phone screen and everything. We have the fastest signing process that there is.
Yeah, thank you so much for the answer, Volker. Anyone else? Maybe Suzanne, do you have any question or comment?
Yeah, well, I think it's a super relevant product. Just in walking through my city, I see so many restaurants who have trouble staffing, finding the right people and keeping the right people. My question is also around, yeah, you have a solution, or you're working on a solution to actually motivate people and keep them in the same workplace. I'm wondering, how do you do it? How do you educate them? Is there material that you develop, or yeah, and then the rewards that you mentioned, I was also very triggered by that, because there seems to be a feedback loop in place to allow them to reap the rewards. So how does that work?
Well, it's actually built like Call of Duty. The whole system works. You have an individual ranking, but that goes for every sector. So the housekeeping has a different ranking. The chefs have a different ranking because it's other working times. You can score by working. If you work on a holiday, you score extra. If you work a last minute shift, you score extra. If you book your hours on time, basically everything I want you to do will give you points. But also you can check if your friends on the platform, you can invite your friends, you can build a team with your friends and battle against other teams. We are also sponsored by Chef de Vent, one of the biggest suppliers of hospitality clothing in the Netherlands. They're going to sponsor a lot of stuff for us in that ranking. And with the team ranking, the winning team will get 2 weeks of Bali from us. So we sent them to Indonesia for 2 weeks. Yeah, just work in hospitality is hard. So we have to make it fun for people to get. After all those lockdowns, a lot of people switch to healthcare or other jobs. If we don't make it fun, they won't come back. And on the other hand, if we want new young people to get in our industry, we also have to make the training fun. So we work together with SVH for the education. Means it's approved. It's an approved diploma they get. but also we want to keep them motivated. So we have guest lessons by Michelin star chefs, because I come from that business. So Johnny de Boer and Hans van Wolde and guys like that, basically friends of mine. So they will give lectures every week. And also everyone who goes to school with us gets, we call it Pro Buddy, means actually a freelancer with 15, 20 years experience, who he can call. So you do all your homework online, but you don't give anything away from your salary. So you're still going to work for the same salary. And we at MyShifts, we pay for your total school. So you don't have to pay any cent for your school. But after 2 years, if you're finished, we have good trained staff because we trained them ourselves. And also they are loyal as, they're very loyal guys because they know us and are freelancers.
Yeah, super cool. And maybe a question then, since you have been around for a while, what do you see in terms of retention of the staff in the restaurants, the chains that you service?
Well, what I think, there are many, because there are still, the people that really know what they have to do, they become less and less. So what we now see is that most of the time our people will be hired. And then from other platforms like Young Ones and Temper, they hire the runners, but our guys are the project leaders, the sous chefs, the chefs. But the thing is, because they are in the leadership, they stay longer. But also we try to think. I try to think with my client. I have a lot of guys here who also have a really good understanding of our sector. And the most first question I ask a client is pretty simple. Where does it hurt? And let me see if we can help. We just got a very big project from Albron, Keukenhof next year. We kicked out Randstad totally. So that means we're going to do the whole project just with MyShifts. I don't think many online platforms can do stuff like that.
No. I really appreciate how the whole pitch sounds like a Call of Duty game.
You know,
very
yeah, but also we thought about a lot of things, because the last year we learned a lot. So if we automate back office, we can sell back office services to companies. If we automate invoicing, we can automate factoring. We automated advertising. Companies can pay to get their shifts advertised. Also, we can make APIs with platforms like Jobbird and Indeed. Vacancies can be filled in automatically within buyout. So that means they shoot in a vacancy, our people can see it, react. They're open shifts for 30 days. They can do a trial version, and after 30 days, they can pay them out 3,500 euro, and it's your stuff. And also,
easy onboarding.
Yeah, and what is a very good thing, and a lot of companies need, they also want their own people to be motivated. So we build it that if Van der Valk wants to do their own scheduling, they can do it in our app, and they can also put their people on our ranking. So it means they can also motivate their own staff. So the whole hospitality becomes one, and people start talking with each other and also motivate each other to go to work, because you want to be better than the other one, right?
Yes, thank you, Volker. I actually have a question as well. I think it's an interesting concept, especially with all the kind of full-fledged platform and all the multiple services that you offer, and also, well, impressive the big clients you've already got in your client base. But I think one of the biggest challenges for these companies is often just building up a database of employees. Well, especially if you want to compete with bigger players also like Tempo or Monsterboard or other type of companies. So what is your secret recipe? How do you build up your solid database of employees?
To be totally honest, what I'm doing right now, nothing. Because what we did, we thought of that in the beginning. So we started out with a lot of marketing. But what we actually do is, after the first 40 hours someone worked from us, they get a chef jacket from us or their own shirt from us. And on it has the logo, and also if they are professional crew or if they are the talent crew, skilled crew, because we work with XP levels. And our people go to work and people from other platforms see that. So what is that MyShifts? And they say right away, if you are good, then you have to work with this company. So actually, we also have an automated recruiter program. Means if you are a freelancer, you automatically can open up your recruiter account. You get your own code and QR. You will also get a t-shirt. You can put your QR, you go to a party and you just scan in people to work. For every worked hour, you get 25 cents from us. And there's also a competition for recruiters. So you can try to be better than other recruiters, sign up as many people as you can. But there are actually guys who make 600-700 euros out of that every month because they just signed up so many people. That's where you find them, right? On the work floor. Where else do I can market on marketing on Facebook as much as I want? But if my guy's gonna work somewhere, then they will just sign up the people they're working with.
So you don't do any marketing on social media?
The last marketing I did was before summer. But if we do marketing, we have a whole campaign ready for the new app. So that's totally ready up to at the stations and in discotheques where you can sign in. That's totally ready. But if we do so for a budget for, I think, 5,000 euro, we have over 2 million views we had, I think. We also have our own TikTok channel and we have all the social medias. Yeah. But most of the time I wait until winter because every platform in the summer they need people and they spend a lot of money to get them in. And I just wait until it's easy and I do my marketing in the winter because I just get a lot more out of it. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. And one other question, how do you make sure that you have the right match between the employees and companies?
And before we answer, Volker, if you could get like the short answer, then because we need to go to the next page.
I will give the shortest answer ever. 100% automated with profile videos on one hand, and also people can upload all their diplomas, references, and certificates. We get right away a notification on our back office. Our people check and approve. So if you see someone, you can see if the diplomas, the work history, everything will be checked. And also you have a video of the one. And after your shift leader will tell us if your experience level is all right and what kind of person you are. So we get response from the workflow right away.
Good, thank you.
Thanks so much, Erica, Volker, Susan, for comments. So I think, yeah, we should go to the next page. Constanza, sorry about that. I couldn't, give you the stage to make the comments. But if you have any comment, feedback, you can just give it to us. Maybe not question, but if you have any comments, please.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you then. Okay, then now we are going to the final page, will be done by David. David will be representing Nocto. David, feel free to share your screen and start your presentation.
Yes, thank you so much for the introduction. I will be sharing my screen now. Yes, perfect. I believe you can all see my screen now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes. So, yeah, good evening and nice to meet you all. My name is David Franzen. I am the co-founder and CEO of Nocto. Now, this is a question that I believe you can all relate to. What should we do tonight? This is a question that is being asked every day, millions of times all over the world. And I believe that the answer to why this is a question that keeps coming back is because we simply just don't have a good answer for this yet. And the reason for this is because there is an incredibly inefficient connection between consumers and hospitality businesses. And this is also why we're seeing so many now hospitality businesses grow so quickly, as per the great presentation the other people here tonight as well. This just goes to show that hospitality is still very much an interesting market that's very much on the up and up as well. So with this problem in mind, the inefficient connection between consumers and hospitality businesses, this is what laid the foundation for our business. So again, we are Nocto. We are the connector platform for hospitality. So what we did is we identified the 4 most obvious stakeholders for the industry, which are, of course, the consumers, the venues, the event organizers, and the brands. And we ensure that we connect them in order for them to never miss out. What we have done to do this is that we've built 2 platforms. So on one hand, we have built an app, a consumer-facing app, which allows you to find, enjoy, and share the best experiences. And I have a short video in just a moment that I'll show you that gives you some more insights. But it essentially combines elements of Instagram. It combines elements of the Facebook event list or of DJ Guide or Party Flock if you're from the Dutch market. And it also combines deals and discounts, for example, like a platform from a Groupon. But it's all focused on hospitality. And on the other side, the second product that we've developed, which is also, of course, software, is that we've built what we call the Nocto business platform. So this is a marketing and data platform that then the venues, event organizers, and brands are able to log into and use a spectrum of tools within this platform to attract consumers to their venue or event or to consume their product, and to be able to understand their consumers and to be able to create relationships with their consumers. So I have now a video that I just want to confirm if you can hear also the sound. I'm not sure if somebody can just let me know if they hear the sound or not. You guys hearing this?
No, I didn't hear anything.
No, okay. I'll still play the video and I will also then hereafter share the video into the chat so you can hear it. But I hope that the images will still speak for itself, at least a little bit. Yes, it's a bit unfortunate that then the sound wasn't working, but I do believe that this next screen also does kind of encapsulate what it is that we do. So, or maybe still what could be useful is just that I kind of show some screenshots from the video. So basically in the home feed, you see a feed just like on Instagram of real-time pictures and videos, and all of this content is exclusively from within hospitality. So when you click this camera icon here at the bottom, it will first check your GPS location to see if you are within 100 meters of a venue that is within our database. So you cannot post from your house, you can only post from bars, clubs, restaurants, cafes, and hotels. And as a result, somebody looking for a place to go is able to easily scroll through this feed, and you'll see content, again, important to mention is you'll see content posted by anybody within 10 kilometers. So for example, if I'm in Amsterdam and I post, then everybody within 10 kilometers of my location will be able to see my content. So we also allow strangers to help each other. The next question, of course, is then why would people post into our app as opposed to Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, etc.? Well, we have a reward token, which is what you then saw in the next slide. So you can earn this token for every 10 likes that you get on a picture or video that you post. And you can also earn this token by inviting your friends to create an account in the app. And these tokens can then be spent at participating venues to buy deals. So actually, I'm going to go ahead to this slide exactly. So people earn their NOX, which is the name of the token, by getting 10 likes on their posts and by inviting their friends. And people then can spend their NOX to buy drinks, entrances, snacks, or essentially whatever the venues are offering. When you then spend, for example, 5 NOX on a pizza, you get the pizza and the venue that is selling the pizza gets your NOX. So it's a standard trade, and all this takes place through the app with no additional hardware needed at all. And so you get the pizza and the venue earns your NOX. And within our business platform, the venues are then able to spend their NOX, which then go back to us in exchange for certain premium features, like being able to send out push notifications, boosting events, and a whole bunch of cool other things as well. So this has created a circular and sustainable a closed loop ecosystem, which both builds value and loyalty. And it's also then going to become, and is already now then, the engine for organic growth. I also want to take a moment to mention here that because of this token, we essentially have a free marketing budget. And what I mean by that is that when a platform like Uber Eats advertises to try to get new people to use Uber Eats, they will give out 10 or 20 euros worth of credit. Now, when somebody spends those credits, that's lost cash for Uber. But we can give out tokens, which then has value for the consumer, but doesn't cost us anything to generate those tokens. So we can use this token as both a free marketing credit supply, but also as a way to keep people locked into the Nocto ecosystem. I want to come back just briefly to the video as well to show you then here that we also have a complete event list. We are working now to become the most complete event list in the Netherlands, which is again location-based, and you will have the ability to make reservations at restaurants, to buy tickets for events. You'll also have, we are working on an integration with Uber so that you can also directly get an Uber, but also with other urban mobility solutions. And we have a map and a whole bunch of other cool features as well for the consumer. So yeah, that's
1 minute left, so just to let you know, David.
Wow, okay. Yeah, so the app helps people to find cool things to do, basically. And then the business platform for businesses. What we've noticed very clearly is that the most important way for us to grow is to collaborate with beverage brands, because beverage brands are spending millions, if not billions of euros on marketing their products to consumers. But yet these brands have shockingly little consumer data insights on who's buying their product. So if we take Heineken, for example, they know that they've sold 200 liters of beer to a venue, but they have basically no idea who's actually buying that Heineken in the venue. If those units are being consumed through our app, we are able then to provide Heineken with male and female demographics, age demographics, repeat purchase rates, etc. And they have a lot of value for us because they can help us grow and scale. They have marketing budget. They have a venue, an established venue database. So just for the sake of time, I'm going through very quickly here. We are a completely B2B SaaS business model. Of course, we do have the app, which is consumer facing, but all of our revenue models are B2B. And we're now fully focusing on selling these subscriptions to the brands, which is also now going very well. Just earlier today, we had another confirmation for a gold package. I still need to get a signature, so I don't want to yet disclose the brand, but it is one of the largest beer producers in the Netherlands. So things are going very well here. And we are now in full preparation mode for the national launch, which will take place either in the end of March or in the beginning of April. And the reason for this specific time is because, of course, that is at the beginning of festival and summer months, of course, where we then can focus on really achieving national virality for the consumers. So yeah, to wrap up, we are currently now raising 600,000 euros. Coupled with the revenue that we are now bringing in with brands, this will provide us with a 12-month runway, and it is within these 12 months that we expect to be able to achieve profitability. Funds will go to operational and tech, but also now to a marketing campaign to launch. We don't expect to need to sustainably invest into marketing in cash because of the token. The token will be able to take a lot of that marketing cash burden, let's say, from our wallets, which is a big advantage we have. Yeah, of course, we're looking for strategic investors that have relevant experience. And maybe the last thing as well is just that the technology is also very scalable internationally. So we already have a very clear go-to-market strategy that for pretty much any local market, we'll be able to sell. If I go back 2 slides, we'll be able to sell subscriptions basically to big brands, even before having launched into a new market. And that will basically provide us with the budget needed for that local marketing launch. Yeah, it's a very exciting time now. We need to succeed in the Netherlands, and then we need to prepare for international expansion. Yeah, myself, David, I'm focusing on the admin, the product, the strategy, and the finances, and I'm joined by Mark, who is an incredible asset, who takes care of basically everything on the operational side, the marketing, the sales, and the partnerships. Sorry for going a little bit over time, but I hope it was clear, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks so much, David. Great presentation. Constanza, would you like to start with your comment? Yeah, now you should be able.
Yeah, now it's working. Thank you, David. Very clear. And actually, I think you answered many of my questions throughout the page. So very interesting business model. So I have two questions. One is, you mentioned governments in one of your slides. It would be great to get a little bit of more details on that, and what sort of like benefit are the governments looking to get for a platform like this? And secondly, it's an interesting way to create your own coin, and obviously there's a lot of positive externalities from it. Have you seen it done on other sector? Because obviously Facebook tried for a little bit with their coin. They didn't really succeed, but I know it's much more complicated for them being Facebook. But have you seen it in other places, and that can guide you to implement this in a successful way?
Yes, thank you, Constanza. I think both are insightful questions. I think the first one I'll start with about the relationship or the interest that governments have in what we do. So we are not focusing on providing a value proposition to the governments. It's almost kind of even came about as a positive externality, as you put it. Our priority is to help connect consumers and businesses, and it is just a bonus that connection is also in the interest of governments. So we have actually two running pilots with local governments. One of them is with the Gemeente Dordrecht, and there we are helping them, just like Volker, I believe his name was. What he's focusing on is staff shortages. That's clearly a main issue for the Dutch market. So what we do is that we are collecting a lot of data on trends of where people are going and when. So that data is, of course, very valuable to help governments and venues to optimize their staff planning. It's one thing to have access to staff, but you also need to have access to data as to when you need that staff. So that's a way that our data is useful for the governments. And the other way that we work is a sort of like a post-COVID recovery plan. There's a suburb of The Hague that is very residential, but the people that live there don't go out there. They go out in The Hague or in Amsterdam or another city. So that government has actually subsidized the Nocto cost for all the venues in that local region. So that all of the venues have access to our tool, and we can spend that money to attract the consumers into the app. So it helps both the citizens and the businesses. So it's city marketing. It's a smart city proposal with Vitale Binnenstad for the Dutch people, staff planning, and so on. And I believe the second question was about, sorry, the tokens. Yeah, exactly.
The tokens, yeah.
Something that is important to maybe clarify is that the token is not a crypto. It is not on the blockchain. It is a closed loop token, which I think also just makes it's simple. It has no cost. We don't need to sort of mine it, all that stuff. It's just a way for us to incentivize positive contribution to our ecosystem at no cost for us. And it also then creates this organic loop, because once we have that critical mass, the consumers and the venues will both want this token, and that will just kind of then take care of itself in its own growth. Yes, I saw that there's a question in the chat as well from Adam. His question is, or one of his questions is, what is the cash value of a NOK? So we have not tied the NOK to an exact amount, but we approximately indicate to our clients that they should be offering deals worth approximately €1 to 1 NOK. So you might be able to get a burger for 10 tokens. You might be able to get discounted drinks. We cannot offer fully free alcohol for legal reasons, but it's approximately 1 to 1. But of course, this is a choice that the venues have as well. They can choose to offer deals for fewer knocks to be more attractive to guests. So it's an open marketplace in that respect.
So thank you, David. Also, well, very interesting business. I really like the idea of the Nocto token system and the referral system as well. I was just wondering, in terms of scalability, what is your strategy to attract these venues and integrate them in your on your platform?
Yeah. So the number one thing now is to really get more brands on board, because these brands, they have the brand we've signed up today is contracted to, I think, about 14,000 locations throughout the Netherlands. So the moment now we have an agreement with this brand, it's very much in the brand's interest for there to be as many retail outlets as possible using our system, so that they maximize the data that our system can collect for them and the marketing appeal. So we are now even seeing that the brands will be pushing the sale or the implementation of Nocto to the venues on our behalf, because it is in their interest for that to take place. Which is also, I think, going to make it very scalable, is that we don't even have to, of course we will also, but when a big brand like Heineken goes to a venue and says, hey, please use Nocto, we'll pay for you to use it, it's going to be very hard for those venues to say no to that great offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Erica. Susan, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I think already quite some questions were covered in your pitch, so I think that's always a good sign. But I was wondering, for the brands that you are now actively pulling in, what is exactly the information that you will provide them with on the consumers? I find it quite hard as a person visiting a bar. What do I do? How do I interact with the app that makes it interesting for the Heinekens of this world?
Yeah, perfect. So let's start first with what happens without the Nocto app, right? You go to a bar and you buy a Heineken, and Heineken just knows that somebody bought a Heineken. That's the current situation, which is weird to think that they're spending billions of dollars on advertising their product when they don't know who's buying their product. So how it works now with Nocto is that, let's say that this bar you're going to is using Nocto, and through Nocto, they're offering a 2-for-1 Heineken beer. And you've posted some cool pictures, you've invited some friends, you have enough NOX to buy this 2-for-1 deal. So when you create your profile, you do provide some basic information: your gender, your male, your date of birth. The date of birth is required because we need to make sure that we have only 18 plus consumers. You do have the option also to give other as a gender, so you have some flexibility there, let's say. But then when you purchase that 2-for-1 deal, that transaction is logged. So we know that a male or a female of whatever age at this time has bought this particular product. And we don't link it to your personal identity. So it's completely GDPR proof and anonymized. But we do then create basically consumer profiles. So we can say to Heineken that in the Netherlands on a national level, your male-female ratio is 70% women. Your age range is the highest frequency of age is 22. And there is a 30% repeat purchase rate. Once somebody buys it once, they're 30% likely to buy it again. We can also give them insights like it's something that is being consumed early in the evening or at 3 a.m. as sort of like the last drink of the night. And we can do this on a national level.
Sorry to interrupt, but I triggered on the repeat purchase, because I get if you obtain a voucher via the app for the first drink, for instance, and then you exchange it at the bar. Then you obtain this data, but once the people are in, I suppose they will continue to pay with their generic fiat and phone type of payments, right? And then they're back to anonymized purchases, or am I wrong?
Sure. So yes, we have data only at this point of the transactions occurring through our system. Absolutely. We are in touch also with a series of payment service providers about also integrating Ideal and other payment solutions, so that you could even through you're at the bar and you can order and just pay completely through your system, which means that at that point we may also be able to provide data insights on consumption patterns even outside of our own system, just through fiat currencies.
And is the incentive large enough for the individual consumers? And I know I'm asking the founder, but I will ask anyway. Is the incentive large enough for the individual consumers to decide to pay over Ideal instead of in cash or card, and to thereby also make available the data on the number of Heineken beers that they consume throughout a night?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just Ideal. I mean, we will simply connect it to your IBAN. So when the swipe is done, it will simply just pull it from your with a Face ID scan. It'll just pull it from your IBAN. So it's not like you have to log in and actually do a whole sort of, Ideal process. It'll be as easy as a tap payment.
Yeah, this may be an excellent sort of future. My kid has just started to go out. I want to see a little bit what they consume. Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, we completely anonymize the data, so it's we don't provide that to the brands. We definitely don't provide that to random consumers about other consumers. That's very important. But what we can tell Heineken is it's more popular with male or females. It's more popular with this age. If they have a low repeat purchase rate, then maybe the people that are initially attracted to consume the product don't like it. So maybe we need to change the marketing to appeal to another consumer demographic. We can, as I wanted to say, we can do that on a national level, on a regional level, on a city level, but even on a venue to venue basis, that we can tell Heineken that, in this venue, it's a completely different consumer demographic type than another. And if Heineken can improve their marketing by, 5% accuracy, they will save millions of euros a year.
Yeah. So it may lead them to choose a different venue, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's or sign up new venues. So, but the brands is our number one revenue model and growth model at this point. But we also have a subscription model to the venues directly, as well as to event organizers. And I don't know if Volker is still in the call. But within the business platform, we are also in the early stages of allowing for third-party integrations to create a marketplace. So when our brands and our venues and our event organizers are logged into our platform to use the Nocto toolset, there's also a place where they can go to see third-party products and services that can be relevant for them as well. For example, then Volker's My Shifts, or I forget the names of the other presenters as well. A lot of integrations. It's about efficiency for a very big market.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much, David and Susan. Anything to add, Susan? Sorry to interrupt. Okay, I guess no. Okay, also Constanza had to leave, and Erica actually just left because we're out of time right now. I think we can wrap up here. If you don't have anything to add, David, as a final comment.
Well, I mean, I wanted to say, for example, I know that Constanza just left, but I'm in touch with her already separately. And Suzanne, I see that, of course, with Rockstar, what you're focusing on is the data. So I understand why your questions are coming from collaborations with governments and also tokenization. So I think there could be a lot of things to discuss. I'd love to have a follow-up call with you as well.
Sure.
But thank you for listening, and I wish you all a very nice evening.
Thanks so much, David, and thank you so much, Susan, for being with us tonight. And also, even though Constanza, Erica, Matteo had to left, thanks so much for all the panelists and all the audience being with us this evening. Also the presenters, David, Ingo, My Shift, Isordel, Dale Mill. Thanks for all. And our next event actually, we scheduled next event at the online conference towards the end of January, and we have a new conference starting from February. Please just feel free to check our website to learn more about us or about upcoming events, and hope to see all of you again with us in the future.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much, Susan.